Hello everybody, this is Mr. DSI Review, and it's a little bit strange to be making a video after all this time, but Cubic Games asked me to review their 3DS app Too Fast for Gnomes, or rather, game I should say, which is actually either a sequel or a port of the WiiWare version. I'm not entirely sure about that. But anyway, the idea of this game, and by the way, all gameplay will be have been filmed separately because there's no way I can play this game while talking about it. The idea of this game is that you're a small gnome and the Gnome King tells you to go find a princess bride and also collect a lot of socks. And to do that you have to run through a bunch of levels and you can only move forward, but you can slightly modify your movement. Obviously it becomes really apparent that you can jump early on, you can use a parachute, and as you progress through levels you unlock certain abilities, like being able to make yourself incredibly heavy but strong so you can bust through trees. You can go super fast to jump fast gaps or avoid objects that are falling on you. And later even come upon clocks that you can turn back time and go backwards a little bit with, although you still can't necessarily control that. And the idea is you need to make it through the levels collecting as many socks as possible, going as fast as possible, and avoiding death as many times. Doing all those three at once is an incredibly challenging task, and in some levels, even just making it through the level is already very challenging. That's honestly the most significant thing I can say about the game, is that it's really hard. It has what I like to think of as the Flash game difficulty curve, where you see, oh, there's a bunch of levels, and you play through the first 5 or 10, and you absolutely rip through them because they're easy, and then after that they just become so much more progressively harder that by level 30 you're pretty much stuck. I have not actually beaten the game. I'm somewhere in the 4th world, and I think there are 5 worlds. Don't quote me on that, but you know, there are a sufficient amount of levels. Each level theoretically is only maybe between 10 and 30 seconds in length. Realistically, a lot of the levels are about 5 minutes long. Especially in later ones, I find myself dying upwards of 50 times. It doesn't help that I'm not too great at this game. But overall, it was still an enjoyable experience, and I think something about having it be so hard made it a little bit more satisfying to actually complete the levels. The music in the game is really nice. It's got a fitting feel, and I don't know, it's just pleasing to hear. The graphics have a nice cutesy little art style, and I love all the little cutscenes, shall we call them, with the way the gnomes are drawn and whatnot. And the 3D effect is actually quite well done. It certainly didn't bother me at all to play with it, and it makes the foreground nicely pop out from the background, which is cool. I don't have too much else to say about the game, although it was quite an enjoyable experience with the time I've spent on it. You can actually go back to levels and replay them to try and get 3-star ranking for, you know, collecting all the socks, not dying at all, or getting a fast enough time. So if you do that, there's actually quite a lot of replay value in it, and if you want to challenge yourself, you know, that's certainly there. I sometimes find myself, if I'm trying to 3-star an older level, going through it separate times, once just trying to get the best time possible, but completely ignoring socks or deaths. Once going just to get as many socks as possible, and if I miss one, I'll, you know, kill myself just to go back and get it. And once trying to clear it without dying. So overall, I think it was worth the money. It was, like I said, enjoyable game, although very challenging. Nice graphics, nice sound, good job on the 3D effect. And overall, I'd say this is one of the better 3DS eShop games I've played. In comparison to DSiWare, because I haven't played a ton of 3DSware, it was probably better than a lot of DSiWare I played as well. So, you know, take that as you will. Anyway, I don't know how many more reviews I'll be making in the future, but we'll see. Maybe I'll come back to this channel. Probably not so much. Anyway, if you liked this video, please rate, comment, subscribe, send this to your friends, check out my other ones, and you can see the written review on my website if you'd like.